We're back with Team Rising. We've got Roger and Rachel at the table today. And Mayor Pete Buttigieg up with his first TV ad in Iowa. As we all know, he has raised a ton of money, has just been, a darling of the type of people who give lots of money to Democratic causes. Let's take a look at this ad.
To meet these challenges and to defeat this president, we need real solutions, not more polarization. I'm Pete Buttigieg, and I approve this message because acting together to conquer these challenges is the only way forward.
Wow, I'd never thought that we needed real solutions, Rachel. I just such a profound and dreamy man. I was just seduced by his dreamy white shirt and lack of jacket, and I just thought,
can you imagine a more anodyne message, honestly?
Well, I think that's Pete Buttigieg. That is, I think, sort of representative of where some of these Democrats are, is, hey, look, we need unity and we need solutions, but I'm not sure what those are.
Right.
It's like wash, rinse, repeat, but where's the actual solution here besides gun confiscation, taking away your private health insurance, and abortion on demand?
But it's strange, Roger, because he's sunk now to 5%. He's pretty much holding there consistently with this message. I get it. I get that it works for a bunch of Wall Street people in Silicon Valley, but actual voters don't seem to be responding to this. Why double down on that in the first ad? It's completely on non-issues based.
I don't really have an answer for you.
Be the Buttigieg whisperer. Yeah.
Back to my earlier point, because I obviously agree with it.
I agree with myself.
Yeah, it's unusual, but he did staff up in the spring. So of all the people that are, kind of, shall we say, towards the end of the debate stage, I think he actually has the infrastructure where he could actually capitalize on this. And he has yet to really he had a great, I guess, CNN town hall moment in the spring, but he hasn't had a debate moment. So that is potentially still out there. He doubled his staff in a lot of these states. Frankly, if you weren't in Iowa, New Hampshire, and South Carolina 1 year before it's all going down, like these people that just kind of parachute in July and go to the fair and like that, this just kind of drive-by stuff. But of all the people that I think could potentially benefit by a moment either coming up later this week or maybe into October, he could have the foundation there to benefit from something like that.
Yeah.
And he's got the gas in the tank.
I think he is banking on a Biden collapse and imagines that Biden voters are going to look for another centrist and come to him. But if you ask Biden voters who their second choice is, it ain't Pete Buttigieg. It's mostly Bernie Sanders and also Elizabeth Warren.
Yeah. One final thing I will say about Pete Buttigieg here. I can't get enough of him. Not really, but just observing him from the right. Like he was an unknown, and I think he's focusing on this nice guy shtick, right? Nice Midwesterner. But the more I hear him talk, the more I wonder if he's actually not the most angry guy in the race. When you hear him talk about Christians, for instance, calling them hypocrites and then saying the Bible supports abortion up until the point of delivery. These things are actually really radical positions. So that's not a centrist position. So
that's something I've heard from the right as well, which is the annoyance with a lot of the media coverage on him. Much of what he says is conventional wisdom, but he comes out and he actually says it.
And this is what drives me crazy about him, is he does all of that cultural signaling. Right, but when it comes down to specifics on economics, on how are we actually going to make lives better for people in the Midwest, then it's like, let's be friends and not have polarization. It's like, what does that mean?
But by the way, all Christians are hypocrites.
Right,
so the message and the rhetoric don't quite line up.
Well, and Roger, in terms of the debate, he had 2 debates that people were like, okay, that was fine, but it did nothing for him. He just doesn't stand out, right? I think that's the bottom line. What is he offering? Why does he want to be president? He uses this vague language about generational change. Most people are not looking to vote for a president just based on their age.
I think most people just want a president that doesn't open up their mouth and behave like a fire hose of conspiracy and vitriol and hate mongering and self-pity. Victimization and self-pity are core pillars of the Trump kind of culture, right? You're a victim, and you demand self-pity of everyone, as he does many, many times a day. So if we're going to get into character defects, I would love to have a broader conversation, because there's plenty of them on the table.
Fair. Well,
let's
introduce, though, I want to get into the other piece that we wanted to talk about, which is
self-pity.
there's another candidate who has made the debate stage or perhaps purchased a spot on the debate stage. That would be Tom Steyer, billionaire. He's invested tons of money in online ads. There was a stat. He has spent more on Facebook ads than any other candidate, including Donald Trump. He will be on the debate stage, Rachel, in October.
Money well spent.
Yeah, definition of a vanity run.
Yeah.
I have to say, like, and if you look at sort of everything that vaulted him to this place, right? His sort of green populism and his focus on impeachment, none of those things actually have broad support. He purchased a lot of that astroturfing for the support of that green populism that he's talking about. On impeachment, he's dumped tons of money into this. A poll just 2 weeks ago said Americans don't want this. Close to 60% of Americans don't want impeachment. So his two platform issues, he's going to have a huge problem. And so I think for the large majority of Democrats, I'm interested to hear what the left thinks. I think he's a distraction.
I mean, generally, that seems to be the consensus, which everyone's like, why are you doing this? Like, you're drawing legitimate, support away from people. You're flooding airwaves, Facebook ads, and all these other things. But your money would be much better spent supporting whichever of these candidates you thought actually would support
that money
impeachment.
So
and by the way, you're running for president. The presidency could be over in like 16 months. Isn't that something that you should be focusing on? This whole thing is idiotic.
Well, I'll quote myself again, which was not the last time I was on your show, but the time before that. I said that the donations that he got to meet that threshold would prove to be some of the most expensive, spending $7 and $8 per dollar.
Right.
And here we are, and I'm right again.
Yeah. What a great business.
The other thing is I also said that, 20, 30 years ago, billionaires used to balloon around the world seemed to be the thing that they wanted to do after they had made their billions.
Now they want to be
so
president.
I don't get his thing really. The pattern of kind of billionaires running is obviously a well-trodden path. If he were to go so far, the next step would be if he kicked off his campaign and hired extras to populate the crowd, as did the current occupant. To be very specific in his FEC filing, you can go to Gotham Government Relations, and they subcontracted out to Extra Mile Casting, and you can find the email.
Rachel Maddow.
You can find the email that they sent out to pay people $50 to attend.
Like all those Kavanaugh protesters.
Oh wow! Yes, thank you.
This
is exactly what I wanted to.
Being a crowd and a rally guy, paying for your crowd is a very bright line that I at least have never crossed.
Well, I don't know that Steyer's paid for any crowds, but he did pay a lot of money for those donations, as you point out. So I'm sure he'll have a lot to offer in October. Lady and gent, thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Tomorrow on Rising, after a year of campaigning and nearly $20 million, the North Carolina 9th Congressional District election is coming to a close. Local journalist Joe Bruno is going to break down the results for us.
And Arizona Democratic Congressman Ruben Gallego previews this year's Congressional Hispanic Institute's Leadership Conference.
Be sure to click subscribe, hit the bell on YouTube so that you know whenever we post new videos. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Hill TV Live. We are going to see you guys tomorrow.
Have a great day, guys. See you tomorrow.